Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today I want to do something different. One of my friends sorry, got this as a birthday present. The person who gave the gift thought it was the actual thing and it was actually a tutorial. So my friend, she's not a fan at crafting, so she actually bought everything and asked me if I could do it. So if you're interested, so it's in French, Mandarin Duck, that must be the name of the tutorial if you're interested. So I'm going to follow this little by little, and I got pretty much everything I need, and I'm definitely going to do some different things, like for example the eyes. I'm going to do a bit different. Yeah, I'm gonna do quite a few things a bit different, but I'm pretty excited to try this. And if you are interested in having, you know, the cover of a journal covered with something like, it can be paper, it can be cloth, it can be even clay, like air dry clay. I bought these recently, I bought 2 of them. And it looks like wood. It's not actual wood, but you know, I was thinking of making a little tree door, you know, like a fairy from a fairy tale here, you know, with a little door, and it looks like it would look like it's in a tree trunk. And I'm pretty excited to do this, but I would really love to know if you guys would be interested in buying something like this or having a tutorial about something like this. Yeah, so just let me know. And of course, if you're interested in something I make, if you want me to make something for you, everything is customizable. Is that the right word? And you can just send me a message and we can just discuss like price and everything together. So don't be shy, let me know. Even if it doesn't work out, it's fine. And now we're just going to dive into this book cover. So I'm gonna first prepare everything here. I'm gonna need my beloved glass chopping board to do all the, you know, clay mixing and everything. There's little things, I don't know if you can see them. You know, so I got these I thought I would use, so we'll see if they're good enough. For the eyes, I got, just as it says in the thing, I got 2 glass beads things. I don't know what they're called, like flat thingies. And then I've got all the materials that my friend bought for this, and then I've got also my own stuff that I use. And yeah, so let me just get ready and then I'll start working on this, and I will give some indications on what I'm doing as I work along. But as you know, I'm not very you know, I'm concentrating a lot on what I'm doing, so I just don't speak that much, but I will do my best, I promise. All right. First things first, I'm going to work on the eyes. So they say to just do it with acrylics and just paint them. So I'm going to start with this. Okay, I'm gonna stop here at the disaster. Okay, I'm just gonna let this dry and then we'll keep working on the eyes. Next, I'm going to put these somewhere safe to dry. Clean up this mess before it dries. and we're going to work on the actual cover. So we're going to need to make a sheet of this black clay, and this is black no firing, no cooking clay, like air dry clay, I guess. I've never tried it before. This was bought by my friend, so we're just gonna see how it is. And she bought it quite a long time ago too, so it might be pretty hard. And we're just going to make a sheet. I don't have a pasta machine. If you do, you are so lucky. So I'm just going to go a lot faster here and move on to when I've actually done something with this. Okay, so it's a big mess. I've decided to put it straight on the cover so that it dries straight on it. And I've put a plastic bag to protect the inside. So I'm just going to put it over. And this is like the 5th time I'm doing this.
And now let us cut off the excess with a sharp blade and make sure we have an even coverage. Little tip, using a little bit of water can really help out smooth out the rough edges. In the tutorial, it says to decorate the background using molds. So this is exactly what I'm doing, and I am checking the molds my friends bought for this project and choosing my favorite. Once I am confident, let's attempt to add a nice lace pattern on the background. To do so, I roll my pin on top of the pattern, going softly and slowly. It does not have to be even and everywhere, since there will be a hole in the middle, so I am concentrating my efforts on the sides. And I did not do it enough. I think you could press a lot more and have a lot of more definition.
A little bit more on all of this. My idea is to work with nail polish.
The first coat will be the most visible. I really wanted a little bit of sparkle, so I am adding a first layer of gold glitter. After that, I am using various layers of yellow and orange tones, exactly like owl eyes. And to add some dimensions, a little bit of dark red around the irises. And then let's just twirl everything to get a nice pattern. What you see at the back is not necessarily what you see at the front, so don't hesitate to turn it around to know how it looks on the other side.
let's let this dry and work on the rest.
Following the template, I am now making some feathers for the body. And now let's work on the feathers around the eyes. But I think I am actually following the tutorial, but I think we should have probably worked on the body first. Since it is not dry, I do not need glue to get the feathers to stick onto the back panel, but you can put water if you wish to secure more your work. And using my little pointy tool, I am adding some decoration so that it looks more like feathers. And now let's build up some more feathers around the eyes. Those eyes look really scary right now, so let's just put some eyelets on them. So here I am just smoothing out the clay and using some water when needed. The clay is getting really dry, so I do add some water from time to time to make sure it doesn't get too cracked. And now I am rolling a little coil of clay to make tiny little rounds, little beads that will become tiny eye feathers to go around the eyes, especially the bottom part, and make them look quite nice and sophisticated. Sophisticated owl. And how about some eyebrows now? To make the eyebrows, I am doing 2 worms of clay and 1 thinner at the end, and then I am coiling them onto itself and making it look quite nice. The clay is getting really quite dry right now, so I am using water to help it adhere to the background and also work with the water so it doesn't chip as much. Smoothing out the little cracks in the clay with water and a little tool there. And now I am working on some decorations on our eyebrows so that it will look also like feathers, like the rest of the body. Time to make the beak. And let's now make the body feathers. So the feathers will be exactly like the eyes, just simple leaf shapes, and then we're going to draw on them. As you can see, most of the feathers are breaking, they're adhering to the glass and they're just not staying whole. The clay is really too brittle, I've worked with it a bit too much and they're too dry. The feather harvest is pretty catastrophic, so let's just try another technique, shall we? For this technique, I'm just making a big coil of clay and I'm just going to cut off some pieces, and they're all pretty much the same size, the same like weight, and I'm just mapping or sculpting some feathers out of them. And this is much better, works so much better. It's just worked like this now. So as mentioned before, I am following the tutorial to the letter, but the body feathers should really have been done first, I think. I'm going to raise up the face feathers around the eyes. I hope they don't break, and I will insert the body feathers underneath. In case they do break, in case they're too dry, it's okay. We can just fill up the cracks later when everything is dry, and that's what we will do later. I am just adding some water to make sure the feathers adhere to the background plate and then don't come loose once the whole sculpture is dry. So as you can see here, I've brushed some water onto the clay. I am folding it over and over again to help the water penetrate the clay, and then I am just going to shape it like a feather. And now let's just fill in some of the gaps. Favorite time, let's just decorate the body feathers. So for this, I've decided to do pretty much all sides. You can see that on the eyes, I've done only one side and it looks a little bit, you know, like a reflection. I quite like it. For the body, I am not sure I will do this. We will see how I feel when I do it. And the idea is really for these leaf shapes to look like feathers. So I am just using my little pointy tool to just shape in the tiny little bits of feather. If any of you actually know the vocabulary around a feather, please comment the names. I should know. And now that the body feathers are done, we can decorate our owl with some sparkles and some glitter. The idea is to incorporate these little sparkles into the design. Let's just figure out which ones are the best, which ones we want to keep into the final design. We can't just put them all there, it's too much. And the clay is really dry now, even though I keep it in a Tupperware with some humid paper towels, so it's quite hard to work with it. So I'm just going to keep on adding water and just trying to, you know, work it. Work it, baby, work it. Let's just figure out which one we want for the forehead. In the design on the tutorial, it's a metallic bit, but I did not have something similar, so I just wanted to add a little jewel like on the rest of the design. This one is by far my favorite in terms of size and all, so I think we'll just use that one. Yay! I'm so sorry, my hand is completely on the way. I am just working my way around the jewel with a little snake of clay, and this will stop it from moving and will just make it adhere to the entire notebook cover. And now I will just add the other jewels and let the owl dry for the night. So see you in a couple seconds for you, and a good night of sleep for me.
Okay, so this is the next day. Let me put on some light for you. So as you can see, it's cracked a bit, and that's probably the problem with air dry clay instead of Fimo. So there's cracks. I've tried to cover them up, and I did glue this to the cover as well. It's actually pretty heavy. And I've also put a lot of clay all around that I'm going to I forget the name of the gesture I'm doing, and then there's a bit of cracks a bit everywhere here. So the idea is to use some wet clay and to fill in the gaps, and then I hope I have a tool, yeah, something like this, and I'm just going to do that on the sides here like this until it's pretty smooth. And I'm probably gonna have to, yeah, have a look at what's going on over here. And probably add a little bit more clay here on the sides. Yeah, so let's just do that. Now that we've done that, I've decided to put a layer of gesso, black gesso. The clay used here is black, and I think this just doesn't look black enough. So I'm just gonna put a layer of gesso here, black gesso, all throughout this lovely little owl. I'm going to be careful with all the sparkly things, but if you cover them up, it's no big deal. You can just use something pointy or metallic to just, you know, remove the paint afterwards. Yeah, so there's nothing really hard about this. You're just gonna grab a paintbrush, any paintbrush will do, and just go over it and paint. And now let's just either scratch out or wipe out the paint that's on top of our little sparkly stuffs. I've got some water here and a whole box of things. I don't like to waste, but I have no idea what else I could use to wipe out paint. If you have other ideas, I'd love to hear about them. All right, now that this is all painted, I think I'm just gonna let it dry for a little bit. Not long, I think it's pretty much dry already. And then we're gonna do some dry brushing with some silver paint. Can't wait. So I can't remember which is actually better, you know, between a brittle brush, is that it? It's really like a hard brush and a softer brush for dry brushing. The idea is that you use some acrylic paint, and this has not been opened. This is some of the stuff that my friend bought for me to make this cover for her, so I'm just gonna use my own acrylic. Yeah, I don't think there's gonna be that much difference. It's still PBO, it's still acrylics, except hers is glossy and mine is just normal acrylics. So what we're going to do, we're just gonna put some silver on a piece of paper that we got out of the garbage, and I'm gonna start with this one. And the reason I'm starting with this one, I have no reason, I don't know, I just feel like starting with this brush. I'm just gonna grab a bit of paint and remove the paint until my brush feels quite dry, and then I'm just gonna dry brush. Literally, it's just dry brushing. And just as you can see, I've put way too much paint here, so I'm just gonna put it back. So you just push the air out until the paint comes back, and then you just
let go and the paint goes back in the tube. Easy peasy.
Well guys, I think we're finished. What do you think? I think it's really close to what my friend asked me, and I did it with what I had at home. I didn't have something like this. Didn't really want to buy it. Yeah, let me know what you think. I'm pretty excited, pretty happy with the result. Let me know what you guys think, and of course, if there's anything you actually want, you don't know, well, you might want just some advice, or you might want me to do it, or anything, just, yeah, let me know. I'd love to hear about it. So, bye guys, don't forget to like and subscribe to support my channel, and I will see you guys really soon. Bye!